Welcome back, everyone, and let's continue where we last left off. Do a lovely new trial. Ramoon. Mama, I think. Alright, let's do this. Oh god. Thanks, Chance. Thanks, Chance. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. That is always a thing that pisses me off. Okay, this is quite too loud. There we go. It's like this bug where if you queue into a trial or anything like that, it automatically turns off your tank stance. Oh god. Have to remember to oh shit. Oh god, I come in front. There we go. Oh shit. Fuck me. Okay, they're gonna take care of the ads. Ow. What the hell? Oh. Ow. Okay. Yep. Ow, that hurts. Oh, oops. Oh, Luckily, they can heal. And I'll let him break. There we go. Sweet. Yep, I do. Don't leave just yet. There you go. Thank you.
I have taken thy measure, bringer of light. And I judge thee a worthy champion. The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, for if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost.
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin, a regrettable act, but a necessary one. In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Ascians. But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
Alright, let's return to the... Oops. So we have to go over there. I don't feel like... Do I feel like it? Yeah, fuck it. I'll see some gil. Missed it. Okay, are you returned there? I ask how Ramo received your visit. He challenged you to tests of arms. It is well then that you have some experience in such matters. The peoples of both Grudania and Lil Solas will be relieved to hear that the Lord of Levin has accepted you as the forest champion of peace. You have performed a monumental duty this day, Akira. The elder seats here must be informed of your deeds at once. The elder seats here will wish to hear of your experience firsthand. Pray return to Gridania and make directly for the Lotus Stand. The conjurer at Norfica's altar will be expecting you. Fare you well, Akira. Right. Bam, 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 ba, 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 ba. Alright, yes, I shall. Alright, let's proceed to the Conjurer's Guild. Let's see, Conjurer's Guild. Welcome back, honored Scion. We who knew of your mission have been most anxious to see you return. The other seats here awaits you within. Boom, baby. I'm back. Ba, ba. I'm going to mute now.
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramuh ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell? Ramuh made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one, yet I fear that dream is still far off. On behalf of the people of Gridania and the elementals both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow scions have done. Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth. Lord Ramu has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
All right. Thus ends another daunting mission. Hey, Akira? I hoped Lord Ramoon could be preceded with words alone, but nevertheless, I can only admire the adroitness with which you responded to the Primal's sudden challenge. And it seems that Ranjay too was pleased with the outcome. What say you, Akira? Shall we gather back to the Rising Stone and ponder their lessons on the day? Alright, let's go back to... oopsies. Oops. There we go. Yes. Welcome back, Akira. Word of your momentous encounter with Lord Ramoon precedes you. I would fair share news of mine, but Iranji discovers must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord Levin, our learned companion was struck with a profound insight regarding the nature of the Asian's immortality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together.
If everyone is ready, let us begin. Urianger, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the Waking Sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Asian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Asians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Urianger and I have striven to discover a means by which the Asians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
"'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated."
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
"And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body."
Which brings us on to the third group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
"A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh."
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth a distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. The Ascians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection...
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer.
I shall, Archon. Thank you.
The Lord of Levi returned to the Aether, as was Leviathan before him. Ramon's acquaintances was most intriguing. Infernal Vortex, Krog, Hul, and Livin all have now been humbled by the Bringer of Light. The limitless potential of man, Hydaelyn's servant, grows mightier by the day. Yet she prospers at great cost to her mistress, whose strength is all too finite. 7 times have the masses survived and rejoining, but their souls are grown weak and wan. Yet, even as it enervates the ardor and power our master, all that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted to forge the final key. And that is the task to which we bend our every effort. Divine seeds we're ever want to quicken in Rosia's fertile soil, and we need only lead men to the field, and by their eager hand shall a new dignity arise. That which was shattered shall be made anew. The one true God shall come again. Ba. Now, the matter of Ramon has for the present been put to rest. There is something I would show you, Akira. It is a letter of thanks signed by the leaders of Erosia Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated primals: Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Good King Mugomog 12, Leviathan, and now Ramah. Needless to say, there is only one among our number to have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel that they were meant for you above all others. I too must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you have done. In the course of your duties, you have never once failed to answer my call to arms. You are a true hero, Kira, and Erosia is that much the safer for your presence. Pray do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Asians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own, and that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the primals too will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow, and there is no greater gift. That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace, we owe in no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf and the people you have won over to our cause. In so doing, our list of enemies has ever been long, but think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the simps of little soulless who wish not of conflict, of the Alamegans and the Domans who stand with us, determined to halt the dread march of the Empire. And then there is Sid and the Fellowship of Noah, racing to unlock the mysteries of the ancient Alaga, that we might be spared the horror of another ultimate weapon. Of course, when speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow scions. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the scions, and combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming, Ascendant, given our embarrassing wealth of allies. I trust it will not inconvenience you unduly if I absent myself for a time. Afronad, I take it the troubles in Uda no longer require your attention? There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. 'Tis to report such what I stand that I stand before you now. That, and to speak with you concerning the new organization we discussed. I have a message for you from Ele. You recall the refugee girl, the one whose parents went missing. They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass on her thanks to you. Why, Afran, am I to understand that you made the effort to remember the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out. Akira, you have been away from Reverend's Toll for some time now. I believe, might I suggest that you put the efforts of the realm to one side for the moment and take this opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Yozan was his name, and I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a visit? Alright. Give me one moment. Okay. Oh, there he is. So, look, it's Miss Akira. She's back from her adventures. We heard you were off fighting primals. And that they've some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Doman Adventures Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, do you think you could train us today, Miss Akira? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals. What's all this commotion then? Miss Boulder and Mr. Boulder and Mr. Colt and Net. Did you know that Miss Akira's back? So it would seem. Welcome home, Akira. My companion and I but recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I am known as Hoary Boulder, and this bookish fellow is Coltenet. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken it upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the arts of combat. Ugh, I told you, Mr. Boulder, we are not younglings anymore. We are adventurers. And we were just asking Miss Akira if she could give us some special training. I think we've ready to hunt monsters alongside her. Don't you? Well, you've certainly been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordona are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Akira, a demonstration of skills at arms, if you will? Hori, If I didn't know you better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against a legend. Well, mayhaps I am, but what matters the motive when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson? What you say, Akira? Would you consent to spar with me? Hurrah! We're to have a tournament. Come on, everyone. We must prepare our gear for an outing. Do you try not to disappoint them, Have faith, consultant. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make of this a worthy contest. The fiends to the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. Okay. Let's head west. West. Bam, ba, bam, ba, 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 da. Ba, 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 ba. 'Twas good of you to agree to this, Akira. I trust you are ready to begin. Yes. Very well. Let us not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Hori, are you certain you wish to fight her alone? That is Akira you face. What better way to test my mental? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, 'twas this hero's legend that led me to join the Scions to begin with. Without Akira to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. Hello, you haven't begun yet, have you? Yada, what? Who are all these people? Well, I heard about your sparring match. I told everyone I could find, thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there are still more to come. When I mentioned Akira's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. You'd best claim victory, bringer of light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder. We shall soon see. On your guard. Come on, come on, come on, add her up, come on. I'm sorry, my friend. I'll finish you. Okay. I see. That wasn't a duel, that was a murder. You have bested me. I yield. That was incredible. She beat them both at the same time. We knew you couldn't lose the Carol. None can defeat the Guardian of Erosia. Now I see why they sent you to deal with the Primals. I've much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. We're just like pouring salt into those guys' wounds. Oof. Impressive as always, Sakura. 'Tis ever a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles on these many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardians of Erosia, yes, that is the most fitting. Guardian of the Erosia, yes, this is a most fitting title. Do you recall when first we met? 'Twas the memorial service for the Battle of Cartonaru. At that time, I was yet attempting to understand this land of Erosia. I sought to grasp the reason why grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I speak plainly, my intentional impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abound, and yet the effort I saw expanded towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Erosia a foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their homes was in, I could not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. The legatus simple-minded military invasion preclude any such switchings of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many. The nations too self-involved and unstable. 'Twas you who convinced me the salvation of Erosia was possible. 'Twas you who taught me through countless acts of bravery that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land nor its history, nor any single nation. It was the people, these wonderful, infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow, only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish, to aid Erosia and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I too will endeavor to take up the mantle of Guardian of Erosia and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are on a scale that cannot be solved by the scions of the seventh dawn alone. No, what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Asians is a new expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. Alright, let's continue back to MSQ, shall we? That's a nice dragon. Thank you for coming, Akira. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must never ever be one step closer ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization, a group that shall pave the way for a truly united Erosia. Determination. Pray and forgive me if I trend over old ground, but I wish to. I would first speak of the grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th Astral Era, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the disparate forces of Erosia together into a single entity. A realm-wide grand company, if you will, the military might of sorts institution would be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Yet, while the purpose of the hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer this discussion continues, the more I sense the impetus toward unification draining away. Unification, there we go, drawing away. Thus have I been campaigning for creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation. According to the science, 'tis my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to lagging deliberations. Alas, being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fear of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the ascendant. The Science would work tirelessly to protect Erosia and its people. But as you yourself have witnessed the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Science Command, however, we will be capable of resorting to a wider range of difficulties without staining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization and those of the Science are ultimately identical, a point concerned by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing this predecessor to the true borderless spanning grain company, 'tis yet necessary that I visit the three leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you accompany me on the journey and attend the business of recruiting our inaugural members while I otherwise engage with bureaucratic formalities. Thank you. 'Tis assuring indeed to know the bringer of the light and her discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa. Let us rendezvous at Bulwark Hall. Alright, let's teleport to Limsa. Alright, Boulder's Hall it is. Bam 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 bam. By there you are. There you are. I am ready to ascend to the bridge and speak with Admiral Blowfiswoon. while the Admiral and I finalize the permission boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread the word of our organization through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for potential members, 'tis of no matter. Some should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it, and you need range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit your purpose. Once you are satisfied with your recruitment efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter that we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. Alright, let's go to the upper decks, shall we? Yes. Okay. So we've got one here, one there. We can use this one to travel to here. Okay. There you are. An organization with the freedom to operate with territorial impurity. I must say, your proposal intrigues me. But the Kraken's well known that there is a time to act and time to watch, and I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter category. Okay. So, Master Alfred's new organizations. Yes, I've heard the information of his trial was in the offing. 'Tis with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation as commander of the Yellow Jackets and protection of the Lemson Luminsa must indeed receive my full attention. Alright. Fuck you then. Let's see. Where is this now? Okay, so, okay. Alright, yep. Yeah. Yeah. And do I have that? Not. Alright. Well, if it ain't Akira, I do not forget a venture brave enough or draft enough to seek the shortcut into Titan's bed chamber. Yo, ye remember Oriole, don't ye formerly of the Company of Heroes, 3 whistles at Brown's Lake? It ain't often I drag me arse out to Limsa but for a drink, but I'm right glad I did. How fare ye these days? You're looking for to put together a new crew, top tier work. Ha, sounds like a right lock. It does. Alrighty, lass, count me in. The heroes might have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into me grave just yet. Alright, let's proceed to the next one, which will probably be, the Arcanist, the Armor Guild. A procure to unified Erosia company. While I do admire the scope of your ambition, my responsibilities here at Naldic and Realm Meals keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to the tasping hit her, and not yawn across the realm should you require my skills as a armor. However, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. Do 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 do. Who in the bloody hells do you think you talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some stubborn knight in shining armor. If you're looking for a self-righteous swap, try knocking on the dandy Carvian's door. Okay, whatever. Well, just got one. Airship. Yes. Akira, your recruiting went well, I trust. I am curious to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Limsa Lamunsa. A member of the legendary company of the heroes indicated his interest. Astonishing. I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. Few could boast the acquaintance of such a elusive character. I, too, was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit with the Elder Sea Tier succeeds as smoothly. Pray and continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall await your arrival at Nolfika's altar. Alright, let's... it's cheaper to go through here, I think. Ugh. Alright, that concludes the this episode. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a nice day.